Alright, so yeah, we went into the astronomy. We went crazy on that. Now let's get into some astrology. Now, what you got to know, y'all, is that every sign will be influenced and impacted by this eclipse completely different. Out of all of the signs, Aries, this eclipse is on your ass, okay? Y'all see how the Great North American eclipse is focused on North America? This eclipse is low-key also focused on y'all Aries too, alright? So for the Aries out there, y'all really got to make sure that y'all are secure with y'all appearance, y'all pursuits, y'all creative assertion, and also health. Now, when it comes to Aries and Virgos, I think this transit will show the most for the cardinal signs and Virgos, and I also put the Scorpios in there as well. So look, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, Scorpios, and Virgos. Y'all are the 6 signs that this eclipse is definitely going to be a powerhouse for y'all. So for the Aries, I mean, do we need to say more? Mercury is going to be in Aries. The North Node is going to be in Aries. The Moon is going to be in Aries. And the Sun's going to be in Aries. And it's going to be, as we said, 19 degrees Aries, which is the exalted degree for the Sun. Now, this is the definition of springtime, and it places emphasis here. And we know that it's also around the Cancer aspect of Aries, and this is dealing with home and nurturing, but really nurturing of ourselves, our own emotional sensitivities and sensibilities, and it can also highlight protection and how we defend our household. So that's why when Noble and myself, when we was breaking it down in our seminar, it was interesting that we were speaking about just the home aspect, the country, your nation, protecting things. And this is why when Aries, this eclipse will highlight what pursuits and emotional values within themselves that they're protecting. We have Mercury here. There could maybe be some mental acuity going on, a shift in emotional sensibility with siblings. And of course, we even have the mother, definitely, because we know that with the eclipse, the moon is going in front of the sun. And because it is, right, the sun is being eclipsed. Well, the sun is being eclipsed at its degree, 19 degrees. So when you're looking at your chart, if you have any planets in the later parts of this area, you want to make sure that you pay attention, because the eclipse is going to be on your ass. And once again, when we say the eclipse is going to be on your ass, we really saying that it's going to have a more subtle, direct effect on you. Unless something absolutely crazy happens, like literally Leave the World Behind will kind of be like what the eclipse would be. If in its absolute worst sense, y'all know the movie Leave the World Behind? Because remember, Jupiter and Uranus are going to be conjunct. Mars and Saturn are going to be conjunct, right? And on an eclipse, when it comes to eclipses, to a degree, they're more so about visibility and geography. As even though all of us will feel the effects of the eclipse in our chart, remember that this eclipse is called the Great North American Eclipse. And this eclipse we are in the eclipse season. We see what's going on with Diddy, Harlem shaking, and they raiding the spot. They raiding it, and they Harlem shaking. We see what's going on with Dan Schneider. Well, Aries, in Astrostetics, we look at Aries as the execs. This is the head, the start. So when it comes to the head, this can also deal with the brain, the mental mechanics, the direction. So when we're speaking about Aries, the direction, where Aries are going headfirst, how they're asserting themselves, how even personal security, right? When we're talking about that little tinge of Can-Star being there, this is highlighting the personal security and all of these things shifting with Aries. We may see Aries shifting their relationship dynamics, how they're perceived, but it's really their values in relationship, where if you are Aries and if you've been in any relationship and you've been holding on to things, and listen, just communicate it clearly. Mercury is going to be retrograde during this eclipse. And that's also something that's slightly huge. We know the eclipses are important in terms of visibility. So depending on where you are, this eclipse, I know where I'm at, Jupiter is going to be at its highest point. So where I'm at, the light of Jupiter is still going to be seen. But now this is why it's important to know, where do you have Jupiter? If you have Jupiter, because it's still going to be conjunct Uranus, right? And if you were Aries, you will have Jupiter and Uranus in a very great spot in relationship to you. That can cause massive shifts in financial gains. So for the Aries out there, a lot of personal changes, without a doubt. And when we're looking at Aries in particular, Aries is all about straightforward direction and spontaneity. Well, now with this, the spontaneity that Aries exalts, it'll be securing their emotional experience. This eclipse is bringing in conscious and our emotions in a direct line. And because of this, this can lead to enormous amounts of understanding and realization. More so realization. And for the Aries, it would be the Aries realizing their own personal energy. So for this transit, a lot of y'all own personal security, personal values, personal gains, the things that define y'all direction, as well as appearance changes. This is a personal rebranding for y'all. Once again, out of all of them, y'all gonna be feeling it the most. We have Mercury there. The sun, the moon is in Aries. Y'all know in Astrostetics, we don't really geek out over Chiron. But Venus will also be in Aries too. Beautiful, vivid dreams for the Aries. Amazing dreams. I think Venus is in Pisces right now. So for the Aries, music, sensuality, private time, all of these things will benefit y'all. But in the area of relationships, when it comes to documentation, legislature, styling, writing, all of these things, Aries, get in your writing bag. There could be aspect of paperwork there based on the Saturn aspects. There could be some legalities that have been going on that Aries just need to get to. It could be relationship agreements. We don't want no Aries getting divorced now. All right? We want healthy relationships. But listen, in order for the healthy relationships to happen, you got to be in the greatest relationship to yourself. And this is why the Aries, this eclipse, all of y'all personal matters will rise to the surface, and it'll allow you to realize them and assert a new direction in life. So Aries, new beginnings, definitely. Even though Aries is the sign of new beginnings, this is why it rules the head. It's a new, right? When you come out head first, right? In Astrostetics, you come out head first. So Aries is the debut, how you initiate, and that's going to be from that eclipse. That's going to be from that celebration of the personality and the personable approach to things. Your health, personal state of being, energetic well-being, how y'all coming off, how y'all step in the room, how y'all debut y'all energy. If you are Aries and you're in business, woohoo! And I hope y'all enjoy this eclipse, because it's going to be, the sun is in Aries. The sun is going to be in Aries. So for the Aries, the authorities around y'all too, even the authorities around the Aries, the people that are radiating energy around you, this will bring y'all into a new emotional realization with them as well. So for the Aries, even people older than them, as of course even children as well, right? Even some Aries after this, we may see some announcements, but this will only come from a realization of one's assertive values. All right, so that's why we would love an Aries in business, because the Aries in business right now, yeah, they're gonna transform. Out of all of the signs, Aries will be doing the most personal transformation right now. If you know an Aries, you're gonna get a different Aries within these next 6 months. All of the Aries is about to upgrade, a personal shift after this eclipse though, and they can be feeling it right now. Y'all can be feeling it right now. If you are, let me know. But it is your time to step out, right? It's your time to flex out. But you got to have that realization first, okay? So shout out to the Aries out there, all right? Let me know in the comments. Now for the Tauruses, this time is going to teach, it's a little similar to the Aries vibes, but this is dealing with spirituality now. When it comes to isolation, places that y'all never been, things that y'all never been in, situations that y'all never been in before, hidden places and hidden things, y'all are going to be called to realize the unseen. So for the Tauruses, out of all of y'all going to be silently influenced by this eclipse the most. We saying this because this is going to be in a part for you that's unseen. A lot of the changes that the Tauruses may realize, y'all definitely going to realize it maybe next year. When it comes to the hidden aspects, even some Tauruses, y'all might be in y'all experimentative bag. Y'all might be listening to new forms of music, but this is really bringing y'all closer to maximizing y'all time alone. So for all of the signs, Tauruses in isolation, to reach in with your imagination and tap into the most spiritual aspects of yourselves, this transit will highlight that. And this could be y'all having a sense of y'all, some of y'all might want to travel, all right? Some of y'all may also experience things dealing with transcendence. So when we're talking about people maybe not being here, right? Maybe some people gone on to higher realms of dimensions, the unseen. There can be realizations with that as well. This is going to bring y'all into a realization of things on a higher plane of existence. Music, traveling, even getting lost, right? This eclipse is going to teach y'all the value of, in a way, being lost or going into the hidden fields of things. And for real, Tauruses, that's really all we got to say. Because y'all could be dealing with a lot of deep things. Y'all could be dealing with things that, yo, should I even say it on here? But it's not that it's anything spooky. It's just transformational things. Y'all could be dealing with losses, even people coming out of nowhere and reintroducing themselves into your life. But remember that we are in eclipse season. All right? We're in eclipse season essentially. So because we're in eclipse season, people, they gonna be feeling that energy as well. But for the Tauruses, y'all dealing with a lot of private concerns. And this is really pushing y'all to focus on what you cannot see. All right? So y'all gonna be the most, out of all of the signs, the Tauruses should be having the most dreams right now. The hidden things that no one knows is there, y'all should be realizing all of these things. So this could be a very psychically sensitive time for Taurus. Y'all could be extra sensitive, and this works out always, right? Somebody could say a little thing to you, and it could be great, and you'll feel that greatness more than anything else. But because it can work the other way, right? Somebody could make a little joke to you or a little comment or a little... Look, Tauruses is not with the BS right now. If you know what Taurus and you trying to play with them, they not going to be playing with you, right? The Tauruses is extra sensitive right now. Don't play with them. They will bull on your ass, right? They will book. All right, y'all know that with the book. You feel me? Don't play with the Tauruses. They extra sensitive right now. You might mess around and DM a Taurus hi one time, and then they gonna tell you, don't ever talk to me again. Dead ass. Yo, Tauruses, am I wrong? Yo, Tauruses, are y'all with the bullshit right now? Well, let me know. Have y'all been dreaming a lot? Discovering new forms of music? Maybe thinking about going to hidden places? And y'all also could maybe be dealing with the loss, realizing loss. And there's nothing wrong with that because losses are gains, right? And we have Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. I mean, big gains, yeah. All right. So I definitely see y'all going crazy out there with the Tauruses out there. All right. A lot of big shifting going on and big realization when it comes to privacy and all things of that sort. All right. Shout out to the Tauruses. Gemini. When it comes to the social circle, y'all gonna be doing a lot of realization of y'all friends. Look, Geminis ain't playing either. But when it comes to the Tauruses, y'all ain't playing. The Tauruses ain't playing with their emotions and their own privacy. Now, if you got Gemini going on, you're not playing in the social atmosphere at all. Geminis, even meeting new friends, right? New ways of promoting, even having a new idea of purpose around friendships and how y'all socializing. Geminis could be in a little rebranding bag as well, but this will be in the form of their ideas and how they share their ideas with their community. So there's a lot of shifting with Gemini. If you got Gemini, like, look, yeah, I don't know where you got Gemini in your chart though, all right? But Gemini right now, there's a lot of shifting and a realization of purpose with y'all friends. So people that y'all not sure about, people that y'all been socializing with for a few months or whatever, there's going to be new things to get to with them. It could be new business agreements, new deals, right? New ideas, really, right? Y'all, Geminis are bringing new things to the collective. So we may see some Geminis. If you know any Geminis in business right now, they could be having new ideas. But this is the realization and asserting these new eerie qualities to the market. So Gemini also discovering purpose of friendships, right? Once again, starting new things with friends, new social spaces, meeting new people, and really a all-around social dynamic check, right? You might see Geminis pretty much speaking about the importance of understanding their social dynamic. Who are my friends? Why did I start this relationship with all these people? Am I in a relationship with all these people? That's the Geminis. Geminis might be doing a lot of cutting people off. Tauruses already did cut people off, right? The Geminis, Geminis is about to start looking around now. The social energy that Geminis have been socializing with, they're about to run a fiery check on that. All right? They're about to run a pit check on their social circle. And this is where this eclipse for the Geminis is highlighting. Now, of course, if you a Gemini and you got, let's say you're a Gemini and you have an Aries moon, or you're a Gemini with a Mercury in Aries, this eclipse is going to be extra on your ass. But then it would adjust the dynamic to where it would be, how do you speak to your friends? And maybe how do you speak to your siblings? What new relationship initiatives are you starting with your siblings in relationship to yourself? All right. But we know that Gemini is the sign of siblings, but in this particular case for Gemini, it could also be their friends, right? If you're a Gemini, getting in that supportive bag is great, because you might be in a position to support your friends, right? Geminis are the best with supporting their associates. So Geminis could literally step out and, supporting your friends is a great thing to do. It could also be about what your friends are doing, right? Not always about your eccentric creative ideas. What about when your friends start something creative and eccentric, right? Make sure you celebrate them like how you would want your own endeavors to be celebrated as well. Yo, if y'all liking this eclipse breakdown, let me know. Yeah, I'm having a great time right now. I'm getting the jitters kicking it with y'all. I feel amazing. Big Pisces is here. And y'all here with me. And I'm loving this with y'all. Alright? Did someone say can't star her? When it comes to the career and y'all long-term plans, longevity, now's that time. Even the relationship dynamic with y'all father, business, and authorities, Can-stars, right now is the time. If you a Can-star, getting into a closer relationship dynamic with your parents and your fathers and people that have been with you for a long time, now is that time to combine and realize the importance of that alignment with these people around y'all, but only if you've known them for years. So with the Can-stars, even things that y'all have been working on for a long time, y'all about to get on that. If you a Can-star and you've been working on anything for years, or even like any ideas, see, like with the Geminis, they already did that. But now they could be just practicalizing who they're gonna do it with and who they're gonna support. But now with the Can-stars, y'all molding that together, right? So this is also highlighting the factors of longevity that y'all have with yourselves. Venus is also in Aries too. This is significant for not all Can-stars, but for some Can-stars, y'all gonna be making relationships off what y'all learn, off y'all wisdom and knowledge. So for some Can-stars, this could lead them into higher forms of studies. And if you a Can-star and you maybe been thinking about taking a new course, learning something new, stepping into a new field of higher fundamental knowledge, that could be that Venus actually in Aries as opposed to the eclipse. Because look, all of these energies all together in the planet, in the sign of Aries, for the Can-stars, y'all got a bunch of shifting going on in the fields of higher thought, but what are you gonna do with it with longevity? So for the Can-stars, if you don't have like a nice Can-star, what are you gonna be doing in the next 3 years from now, Can-star? Huh? Yo, Can-stars, all of the things that you've been working on for the past 2-3 years, what has it condensed and solidified into? Where can I see it in the 3D, Can-star? Huh? Alright, so that's pretty much what this eclipse is going to be rising out of you. What is your long-term purpose on solidification? When you're at your highest point, what are you going to apply yourself to? And I would also say this, out of all of the signs, the Can-stars, they're going to learn the most from this eclipse. In the long run, like when we're talking about not 6 months from now, 6 years from now, and then on top of that, we know that America is a Can-star, right? So this eclipse, also being the North American eclipse, has a strong amount of resonance with America. We also know that when we're looking at that area of Aries, this area of Aries is almost by the Can-star aspect. So this eclipse really is about protecting the conscious parts of yourself, the things that you're consciously because this is a blend between your conscious experience and your emotional experience.
Astrostetics.
Remember, the moon rules Cancer, right? So with the moon eclipsing the sun, this is why Cancers, y'all long-term approach is extremely important. You got to make sure that the authorities around y'all can work with authority in a constructive way and help them increase the heat of your approach as opposed to burning it out, right? So that's why with the Cancers, we need long-term realization here, all right? So for the Cancers, y'all might be getting a tinge of it right now, but this eclipse is going to affect y'all in the long run more than all the other signs, all right? So shout out to the Cancers. Now for the Leos out there, all right? Now for the Leos, y'all got a lot of vibes here with learning, right? For the Leos, you got Leo in your chart, planets in Leo. You gonna be learning a lot, all right? It was similar to the vibe that we was on with the Cancers, but Leos, higher education, all right? Even going to new places, maybe some international trips, huh? If you a Leo, how's your passport looking? You got stamps on it? Leo, is your passport stampy? Because for the Leos, y'all gonna go out of range right now. Going out of bounds, right? In a responsible way. But this is Leos going into higher realms of wisdom, realizing their wisdom. So if you're a Leo and if you've been studying or learning anything for a long time, well, right now, this is going to be the time for you to realize the importance of what you've been learning. So in Astrostetics, we look at this as turning data into wisdom. Now for the Leos, if you've been learning anything, or if you have Leo in your chart, if you've been learning a lot of something and you haven't been applying it, what the fuck is up with that? Leo, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because right now, this is about higher action. So if you a Leo, you ain't taking trips, you ain't learning about no religion, you ain't learning about no new cultures, you not diversifying your actions, you not diversifying your mental mindset. Also for the Leos, avoid consuming a lot, right? If you a Leo, you could be gaining a little bit of weight right now. Make sure you stop eating past 1 a.m., okay? You don't need to go sneak downstairs and get a little muffin in your tuffin, okay? No, Leos, make sure y'all being responsible with y'all weight, because this is gonna make y'all wise, all right? So for the Leos, wisdom is what this eclipse is gonna help y'all realize, all right? And some of y'all might be traveling, might be thinking of traveling, all right? Y'all are tapping in with the stretchy parts, okay? Y'all might be wanting to stretch things right now, okay? Go farther than usual. So for the Leos, this is about extending action, right? Y'all are going to be required to take more action than normal. And in places where you know you want to pick up, y'all going to be way more action-based in that department. All right? Shout out to the Leos out there. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Enjoying this, all right? Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And any questions that y'all have, put it in the comments for me. I'm having a great time, and I know you are too. All right? Of course you are. You vibing with me. So for the Virgos out there, remember we said in the beginning of the video, Virgos, out of all of the signs, y'all gonna have this eclipse in a very, very triggering area. So for the Virgos, this eclipse is gonna highlight psychological factors more than all the other signs. But this is really gonna show y'all the relationship between your neurochemistry and your, in a way, sexual creative energy. So with the Virgos, this could be y'all transforming yourselves emotionally. So the way y'all feel about things, how y'all exchange energy and information with other people, there's going to be a complete dynamic shift in that department. How y'all integrate with other people even things that you guys invest in, right? You guys might begin to value new things in people. So the things that you guys used to pay attention when it came to other people's energy and other people's vibes, y'all not going to be paying attention to that no more. So people are going to start perceiving y'all differently based on a lot of y'all actions now. They engineers, right? In Astrostetics, we look at Virgo as the engineer. So for the Virgos, their relationship between their emotions and how they engineer reality, there's going to be a realization in that department. Certain signs are not going to feel the eclipse like other signs. Now, out of all of the signs, I'll say that Virgo is going to feel this eclipse the most. And I mean, I know that might be controversial, like Virgo and Aries feeling this eclipse the most, but I mean, in Astrostetics, we look at these things differently. The Virgos, they're going to be doing the most personal self-transformation out of all the other signs. The most emotional evolving. And we don't always see this, but we feel this, right? So if you are Virgo and you know any Virgos, they're going to be on some different stuff, but it's going to be on an energetic, psychological vibe, as well as even sexually. So for the Virgos, their perception regarding sex can change, right? Remember, that's how we exchange energy with other people is sex, right? So for the Virgos out there, their energetic transformation regarding sex may be experienced, but this is really the relationship between how they think and how they feel. All right, so the Virgos will notice a lot of development in those areas and really learning about their own creative, sexual, psychological, transformational energy, right? And of course, we know Virgos, you're going to be safe out here. The way this transit will play out the most will be through psychological transformation, through the relationship between their thoughts and their sexual chemistry, which is other people's energy, or what we call it in Astrostetics, psychology. So Virgos, extreme psychological shift, all right? And we love the Virgos. Y'all are amazing. Libras, dang. Libra, y'all right there with the Aries. The Libras is right there with the Aries. Except this is going to deal with Libras and their authority in relationships. So for the Libras, how they initiate relationships with other people, this is the opposite of Aries. Aries is oneself and the actions that one is springing forth with. Libra, this is how people are perceiving those actions. That's why in Astrostetics we call Libra the perceptor, one that perceives from an equal angle, but the Libra is receptive to the action of Aries, okay? But now the South Node is in Libra. So a lot of previous programming, we can see Libras might have an interesting dichotomy with that. Past habits and actions of oneself based on the actions of others. How are Libras supposed to deal with that dynamic? Well, when we look at what's going on around this eclipse, we have Venus also in Aries. Now, Venus in Aries, this is great for Libras. Like, I don't know how other astrologers feel about this, but Venus in Aries is probably one of the best places for Libras. When we look at this eclipse in particular, Venus is going to be, I think, 4 degrees Aries on April 8th. So because of this, this could lead Libras into actually having a lot of relationship benefits from this transit. And when we say relationship benefits, this could be people taking action for Libras based on their love for them. So with the Libras, people could be working for y'all, taking action for y'all, speaking up for y'all, giving y'all things. But this is really a strong shift in the dynamic to how Libras perceive other people's actions. So if you one of them assumptive Libras, you might be spinning the block on a few people. And this is why with the South Node being in Libra, this can also highlight aspects of past programming or previous programming and imprints on one's subconscious psychology. That's how we view it in Astrostetics. So for the Libras, y'all, it's okay. If you a Libra and you could have perceived someone's action incorrectly, it's okay, right? Libras, out of all of the signs, they might be the ones spinning the block on everybody, tapping in with people. This is only when they've calculated your actions and if you're in alignment with how they're perceiving. The dynamic with the Libras could change, but we got Venus in Aries too. And especially when we talking about the Libras born at the end of September, these are going to be the Libras that's going to experience this transit the most. And these is also the Libras that got to look out for old things coming back. If we even look at a lot of Libras born at the ending of September, y'all are the ones that got to make sure y'all past relationships and actions and things that y'all have done, just make sure that you are being perceived correctly. And listen, when you are, Libras are going to experience a refreshment in their relationship dynamics more than all the other signs. This is going to be when Libras got to rectify old shit, rectifying the past and perceiving it correctly, and even the actions of others perceiving that correctly. This is going to allow Libras to make enormous strides. And of course, you have things like fashion, right? The way one is perceived. And that's what the Libras can look out for. A deep, dramatic shift in the way y'all are perceived. With the Aries and the Libra, it gets interesting because note that Venus is in Aries. So this is why we're saying you got to know your chart, because everything adjusts the dynamic of the chart. With the Libras, especially on the eclipse, they even got a lot of sexual reprogramming as well, because Jupiter and Uranus is in Taurus, right? We kind of trying to keep it simple, but they gonna definitely be having a renewal for sure. Okay, so if you know any Libras, you're gonna be perceiving them differently. You're gonna be thinking about them differently, as well as Libras highlighting what matters to them in relationships. People might perceive Libras as being super duper selfish right now. That Venus in Aries is really a game changer, because other people gonna be able to relate to Libra selfishness, right? Libra, I don't know how people feel about Libras, but they're very generous with their time. Like, if you want to say Libras are argumentative, that's fine, but Libras will give you the time to argue with them. Libras might not be on that around this eclipse season, because they're focused on the relationships and how they relate from their actions and their values, and not yours, in their own bag. Not to say that that can't benefit you, but you gotta fall in within their passions right now, right? You can't try to force something on a Libra right now that's not theirs. they know exactly what belongs to them. Alright? So shout out to the Libras. And look, out of all of the Libras, the early September, the early Libra, late September Libras, y'all are going to be impacted by this transit the most. Okay? So if you were a Libra born at the ending of September, you got to do a positivity check on your relationships. Okay? You have to. You don't want no old relationships, old lawsuits, old values popping up and creating karmic issues for you. So for the Libras, y'all got to do a lot of clearing and alignment of actions. Somebody didn't perceive something the way you did. You want to make sure that if you care enough, right, you rectify these situations. Because don't forget that South Node is in Libra. We focusing on the North Node, but you don't get a North Node without a South Node. You don't get a South Node without a North Node. You don't get a Rahu without a K2. You don't get a K2 without a Rahu. You feel me? Feel what I'm saying? Alright. So yeah, for the Scorpios. Oh, dang! Oh, yo, y'all heard that? Oh, shit. Y'all heard that? What was that? Was that Zeus? Was that Zeus? Was that the god of thunder? Yo, yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, this eclipse is gonna be yo, they caught that on live. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. Alright, so Scorpios, y'all next. Scorpios, y'all gonna experience this transit dealing with lifestyle. So when it comes to y'all schedule, y'all habits, y'all day-to-day routine-based things, y'all are gonna notice a shift in this department. Now, we're not necessarily talking about like business in a way, but these are the things that build up to you getting your business right. So for the Scorpios, and for some Scorpios, this can deal with law as well. All right. Remember, y'all, Saturn is in Pisces, so this could having a deal with some Scorpios with aspects of like children and authority, right? There could be aspects of law in there as well, but it's really based around lifestyle, right? So for all of the Scorpios in general, but as we get to like the later end of Scorpio, this would more so deal with like with real lifestyle, the epitome of lifestyle, transcendence, right? And health in terms of lifelong health. That would be what the later Scorpios may notice. But then as we get to the middle of Scorpio, and these are the Scorpios that they'll experience this transit the strongest, right? So if you like born like the beginning of November to like the middle of November, this eclipse it'll be borderline, right? It could go towards the more intense parts of lifestyle, and then it could shift for the Scorpios born around October to the beginning of November, right? The Scorpios born late October to the beginning of November. This would be more so on the habits, so y'all lifestyle, how y'all eating, how y'all maintaining y'all schedule, right? That would be for the earlier Scorpios. But now when we're going into the more middle of Scorpio and towards the ending of Scorpio, it gets very intense in that department in relationship to this eclipse. Now, this is great because it's calling all Scorpios to focus on fitness, exercising, making sure that your lifestyle is up to par. You're in a great state, great health, great mindset and well-being. So this is gonna push y'all for training, understanding y'all biology, right? Especially even like skincare as well. So for the Scorpios out there, this could be more so like a resurgence in a way, and a renewal, you know, and this is gonna be all about y'all physical body and y'all environment as well. So the world around y'all, the tangible world around y'all, and what y'all touching and what's tangible in front of y'all and around y'all, y'all gonna be looking at these things from like, what's healthy for me? What's healthy for me in terms of not only medical, but what's great for me on what's energetically healthy. And this could lead y'all to revolutionize y'all habits, revolutionize y'all diets, how y'all eating, what y'all consuming, all of these things, all right? And also, this could lead into some creativity as well, all right? So any Scorpios out there that's on the creative side too, this could be a very a creative renewal as well. But this is really about habits and lifestyle, all right? So Scorpios, if you're a Scorpio and you've been hitting the gym, you've been thinking about hitting the gym, this eclipse is gonna bring that to the surface, right? Like making sure your health is as great and it continues to be fantastic, right? So y'all know we love all healthy zodiac signs. We love all healthy people. And for the Scorpios out there, this eclipse is going to bring all of this to the surface in a very positive way. All right, positive way. So the Scorpios out there, yeah, make sure that y'all paying attention to y'all habits and what's going on that everyday level. All right, shout out to the Scorpios. So now for the Sagittarius is out there, I'm gonna keep it a beam with y'all. I like how the Sagittarius is looking. For the Sagittarius out there, and even some of the Scorpios, like if you a Scorpio and you have some planets in Sag, you might pick up on this. But this transit is fantastic for the Sagittarius. This is gonna bring some tremendous creative burst, as well as some excitement around the children as well, and a lot of the fire signs too, right? But I'm gonna say Leo and Sagittarius, like out of these signs, they gonna be feeling that baby fever. They gonna be feeling that, the Leos and the Sagittarius. And this eclipse is gonna highlight creativity for the Sagittarius is the most. So I'm looking at the Sagittarius right now. Yeah, what y'all got going on creatively? The Sagittarius, Sagittarius is the sign of, one of the signs of fun, right? We know out of the fire signs, they all about fun, but Sagittarius, I think they have the most fun, right? But this eclipse is gonna highlight this, and it's gonna highlight as well aspects of drama. So the Sagittarius is out there. They might feel a bit more dramatic than usual, right? They might feel a bit more spontaneous in their creative sense, more artistic. But that flair there, it's gonna highlight this. Sagittarius, how have y'all been creating? What is the produce of y'all creative energy? So going into this summer, this could be an extremely productive season for the Sagittarius is out there. Even if you have Sagittarius in your chart, it's like you being called to produce, you're being called to create. And this is great because when we're talking about release, you're being called to release and activate, but through creative action. And for some of the Sagittarius is out there, this could be things like children, even paying attention to the childhood experience, right? Even some of the Sagittarius, y'all could be experiencing a lot with children. But this is also for the Sagittarius as well. Remember, Jupiter is in Taurus. So we can't forget about that. That's still substantial because the Sagittarius, they're being also called to expand on a everyday level as well. So because it is, this can cause a lot of creative expansion with the Sagittarius working within their environment. So it could be, it's a bit similar to the Scorpio vibes, but with the Sagittarius, they are expanding in the area of definitely being resourceful, and creative, but with their children though, right? So you a Sagittarius, you could just be experiencing like a very childlike vibe, like extremely fun, exciting, got a lot going on, right? Sagittarius always got a lot going on, but right now in particular, after this eclipse, it's gonna challenge y'all to really analyze y'all creative endeavors as well, right? So if you are Sagittarius out there and you on the creative side, you're gonna be creating a lot. We talking an abundance of creativity. If you are Sagittarius and you into the business side, this is gonna be a lot of business ideas, a lot of maneuvering, a lot of endeavors, a lot of creative dots to connect, right? And it's like, this is really going to challenge y'all to use y'all creative abilities to also enrich yourselves with the resources of the environment around you, right? And as a result of this is like I don't want to say recyclical creativity, but it's like, even if you were Sagittarius and you into like gardening and farming, if you were Sagittarius and if you have Sagittarius in your chart, and like, let's say you're into agriculture, you are going to be coming up with some amazing stuff right now, right? And that's the vibe too, right? Even if you're Sagittarius and you getting a little green thumbington, right? Your thumb is going green, right? You got a tree growing out of your thumb. Yeah, like that's the vibe, right? For the Sagittarius, some farming as well, creatively working with what's around you to get more for yourself and your families, right? And shout out to the Sagittarius. Sagittarius is creeping up there for me, right? Sagittarius, man, I love Sagittarius. Yo, so much fun. And I know y'all gonna have a great North American eclipse. All right, shout out to the Sagittarius. Now, Capricorning 10. Capricorns, what's going on? I know y'all got a lot going. Y'all got a lot going on in the creative department as well. Some of the Capricorns, especially if you a Capricorn and you into like creative business, yeah, y'all got a lot of projects going on, expanding on y'all hobbies as well. We know Capricorns, y'all need that. We love when Capricorns have hobbies, because Capricorns, y'all one of the serious signs. Y'all governed by Saturn. Well, when we look at Saturn, Saturn's in Pisces. So this is causing an area of emotional and imagination, really, right? Pisces is imagination, but this is the emotions and having, in a way, dominion over them. And this eclipse will highlight this. For the Capricorns, this eclipse is gonna highlight aspects of the home. And also, Capricorns is one of the signs of control in a way. So when it comes to controlling, I don't want to say controlling like controlling one's assets, right? Controlling the family values. Capricorns are going to be called to be responsible with these things. And also what areas around them can they be more assertive in, right? So if you were Capricorn, and of course Capricorns, right, are very assertive people, we know this, but this time it's gonna cause y'all to be assertive with y'all passions and being responsible with how y'all communicate that with family. So you were Capricorn, right? And some Sagittarius on the later end of Sag may also experience this as well. Being responsible with one's emotions and asserting them in the most responsible way. This can highlight emotional concerns for the Capricorns that they have to act on. Capricorns in their immediate environment, they're going to be taking the most action, right? Like acting out the most, re-engineering the family dynamic in the most sensible way. And this is also going to highlight their creativity as well. And Capricorns, this is really gonna highlight y'all emotionally regulating yourselves, as well as how y'all family receive these things too. So this is highlighting new family beginnings for the Capricorns too. Out of all of the signs, the Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Capricorns, these three signs are gonna benefit from this transit the absolute most in terms of creativity, right? So when it comes to them creating new things, these three signs, we want to embrace their creativity, all right? But for the Capricorns, this is gonna deal with emotional variables. So the Capricorns, y'all gonna be feeling this in the more emotional side, and it's gonna deal with family dynamics, all right? So if you are a Capricorn out there, you gotta make sure that you aware of this, all right? And this could also lead to new emotional spontaneity with the mother, right? Y'all could be having more fun with y'all moms. If you a Capricorn and you like business astute, you could be like starting maybe even a business with your mom, right? Some aspects of finances and property can come up with the mom, right? So this is a great time for Capricorns to seek for something new in terms of that maternal element. And we know this is great because it's important for Capricorns to vibe out with their mothers, of course, because out of all of the signs, this benefits them the most with perception-based things. And in the case of this eclipse, though, this is going to be dealing with the family structure, all right? So if you a Capricorn out there, once again, you have to know that this eclipse is going to play out in that family area, and this can benefit business in the long run, right? So Capricorns out there, in a way similar to the Cancerians, this is, and especially if you are Capricorn, and like let's say you are Capricorn and you have like Cancer placements, maybe you have a Jupiter in Cancer, a Saturn in Cancer, maybe a Mars in Cancer, this transit will benefit y'all family dynamic in the most beautiful way, right? But Mars in Cancer, especially like even if someone has Mars in Cancer or even like a Mars in Capricorn, y'all definitely want to pay attention to the family dynamic and as well as y'all household, right? Because this eclipse, it could bring in a shift in the action that y'all take with the family dynamics. So y'all might notice that there could be certain emotional responses that you just haven't been articulating, you haven't been communicating. This eclipse is going to bring those communication dynamics to the surface, right? But out of all of the signs though, when we're talking about Aquarius, this sign is going to have Aquarius the most mentally fluid. So out of all of the signs, this eclipse is going to bring in new ideas and new modes of intellect for the Aquarians out there. Aquarius is already futuristic and dynamic, but this eclipse in particular, this is also going to benefit y'all with even y'all cousins and siblings, right? This could be a new communication dynamic even with nieces and nephews as well, right? But this eclipse, it's going to benefit y'all the most in terms of how y'all dialogue and exchange ideas before we reach intimacy. So when I say before we reach intimacy, this simply deals with how Aquariuses form ideas. Before you communicate the ideas, what is your mental process of forming them together? That's why we said that this is going to highlight the Aquarius's busy mental acuity and arranging their thoughts, all right? And this can also be a time of mobility. Aquarius, this could be a time like traveling, driving somewhere, right? This could bring in a lot of mobility, but ultimately, this is going to challenge y'all to express yourselves and communicate ideas in the most fluid way. So this is going to bring in information for y'all, how y'all deal with information, how y'all project information, how y'all arrange data, and how y'all form concepts. All right, so this time is great for the Aquarius with communication, and as well as, remember, them travels, them drives, right? If you an Aquarius, you might want to take a little drive somewhere, or you might be more talkative than usual, right? So if you have any planets in Aquarius, this is gonna highlight a communication dynamic with that energy. So if you have Mars in Aquarius, this is gonna challenge y'all to master how y'all communicate, right? Y'all writing abilities, speaking abilities for sure, and how y'all channel force. If we're talking about Saturn, if you have Saturn in Aquarius, then this would be how y'all master y'all communication dynamic when y'all speaking to other people, and how y'all have authority over what y'all say and y'all thoughts. So the planets, y'all see, when we break it down a little bit more, and then some people may have planets, all of these planets that we said, right? You could be in Aquarius and you could have Saturn and Canstar, and you could have Jupiter in Capricorn. Like, you know, like some of these variations are actually possible. So you could have all of these transits going on in different parts and in different planets, right? That's why in Astrostetics, we know that pure mathematical delineation conquers all forms of skepticism. So for the Aquarius, this is going to be communicating what you know. So that's why this revolves around data and the potency of the information that y'all receiving, because this will have authority over the information that y'all projecting as well, right? So the Aquarius, this is a great time for the Aquariuses to, in a way, listen. Aquariuses could be doing a lot more listening than normal. The smart Aquarius, because that's them verifying and analyzing the quality of the data that's being transmitted to them. So if you know any Aquarius, you gonna notice like, yo, they might be a little bit more receptive to information than usual, but that's because they really getting their database together, right? So that's what this eclipse is gonna do for the Aquariuses out there, making sure that that database is right, making because Aquarius is one of the informational signs. Without Aquarius, the World Wide Web just doesn't hit the same 100%, not at all. However, though, Aquarius is still going to be challenged to verify the quality of what's being transmitted to it. All right, so that this is a real communication check. All right, and shout out to the Aquarius. And you know, Aquarius is my top 3 favorite signs. All right, now for the Pisces, everybody's favorite sign. Everybody's favorite sign. The Pisces, this is going to be great for Pisceans with values. Pisces in terms of investment, recalibrating. You know, I'm a Pisces, right? Like when I be doing these, like I be trying to like not really, you know, like, but you know, for my fellow Pisceans out there, we might be recalibrating our values when it comes to things that we invest in, recalibrating how we place emphasis on our time, things that we're doing with our time, making sure that our time is being arranged, things that we're investing in. And for some Pisces out there, you may have some Aries vibes in there. For the Pisces, maybe on the middle to the later end. This could also deal with a rebranding experience as well. So for the Pisceans out there, y'all could be looking at some things, a lot of things maybe from a personal approach. Y'all could be feeling emotionally sensitive, like things that don't have anything to do with you are essentially kind of like in your face in a weird way. But this is just challenging us to find our values in it. And understanding, look, Pisces, we might have a lot going on. Saturn is in Pisces right now, right? So Saturn being in Pisces, yeah, like we ain't playing around. We get into it, you feel me? And when we do it, when we do go through it, how we do it, Pisces is being challenged to also define purpose. That's what Saturn does, defines purpose. Saturn, it solidifies things. It not only makes things tangible, but it allows things to define what it's realizing. So this is why Pisces is in that area of definition right now, right? And we know in Astrostetics, Saturn as well as Mercury, they add definition to things, okay? And that's Astrostetics. So now, in the case of Pisces, weaving things together, we know in Astrostetics, Pisces deals with quantum physics. This is challenging Pisces to allocate values properly, right? Don't be all over the place. Venus is in Pisces, right? Adding some sensuality, that area of stability. But then by the time this planet goes on, Venus is going to be in Aries during the time of this eclipse. And this is great for Pisces. So this is going to define Pisces getting their values right, their investments right, their bonds and agreements, what they define as keeping them grounded. This is going to be Pisces, a lot of personal control, understanding our own values, understanding what's responsible with our time and our money. Things that, what are we putting energy into? Who are we putting energy into? What are you putting energy into, Pisces? Right? That's the vibe for this eclipse for the Pisceans out there, right? So y'all, as y'all could see, every sign is going to be influenced by this eclipse differently. Now, depending on where you have these transits, that's gonna alter the dynamic. What if you're an Aries and you maybe have a moon in Libra, right? And you have a planet in Capricorn? Because y'all, all of these combinations are possible. Is there any Aries out there with a planet in Libra? Like, I'm sure that somebody is gonna let me know, yes, that combination is possible. And if that's possible, you're gonna have to check the video out, because all of the signs share relationships with all the signs. So you could have one planet here, you could have another planet there, and all of these are sensitive points. So it's important that we all understand our makeup, right? Our astrological makeup. And y'all know in Astrostetics, pure mathematical delineation conquers all forms of skepticism. We went through all 12 signs, right? And notice that we spent more time on other signs than others, because these signs are all going to be aspected in completely different ways than in comparison to each other. All right. And that's what we stand on in Astrostetics, and understanding that you are unique, right? You're an individual, you are a living miracle, and the God is within you. All right. So y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and keep your light bright. This eclipse is going to be lit. Okay. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Make sure y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe and thrive. Get a lit and live and come vibe with Lex, alright? Yeah!